The first thing we need to do in order to build a cinematic level sequence opener in our Unreal Engine 5 project is to make sure we have a level sequencer. Now we do have one, as we can see here from our animation videos, but we're going to go ahead and make a new one, and we'll call this one Cinematic Level Sequencer. Now that we are inside of it, let's go ahead and add a cinematic camera actor to our level and position this at our mini. Alright, so all we did was hit E to get to the rotate tool and point it at our mannequin and our scene. Doesn't really matter what you personally pointed at. Now we are going to start tracking the cinematic camera actor, and you can see here we have a new viewport, and we are piloting. You can see here we are actually piloting the cinematic camera actor. If you do not want to, you can stop piloting with this little eject button, for those of you who remember what those look like on VCRs. Now, before we get to the nitty-gritty of how to, let's take a look at some of the options we have available to us. You might want to use some of these before we get started. So we have this look at tracking setting. This is useful, but we won't be using it, right? I'm going to take a second to go over it. So we can go ahead and hit enable look at tracking if we wanted to. Let's go ahead and just hit sure. And we select an actor to track. Now, let's say Manny, and you can see it's jerking the camera around because it's going to stay focused on whatever we tell it to, even if we move. So we'll say sure, allow roll. Now this look at tracking interp speed is basically the lag. So if you have a new phone and take videos versus an old phone, you'll notice there's a delay when you swing your arm between when you actually swing it and when it shows up on the video. That's a smoothing process, and that's basically what this is right here. Of course, you have lens and film playback, cropping settings. This is all for if you know something about cameras, you can play around in here. We won't be getting into those. The other important thing you'll probably want to know, though, is the focus settings. We are on manual. We're going to want to go ahead and go to tracking for this. Now we are going to want to adjust the settings, and we are going to want to set our focus on Manny. This way, no matter what our focusing settings are, they will always be set to have Manny in focus, so he wasn't blurry in our cinematic, which is kind of what we want. So let's disable this look at tracking because we won't be using it. Just kind of reset it, leave it alone, disable this roll. Okay, so now all we have changed is the focus. And there are a lot of other settings in here, post-processing and all that stuff. But for our purposes, we really just wanted the focus. Now we are going to extend our maximum frames here, because at 150 frames at 30 FPS, it only gives us about 5 seconds. And let's just say we need more than that. So let's grab this, I have no idea what this line's called, but we'll grab this red line and hit record. I don't want to be asked this again. We're going to hit record. It's going to tell us we are recording now. And we are going to go ahead and make our level sequence opener. And hit done. Now we're going to trim it up towards where we want it to be, right here. And if we hit play back, you can see it recorded our positions and everything correctly. So now we actually have our cinematic. So what we're going to do is go to our level sequencer. What did we name this one? Our cinematic level sequencer. We are going to click autoplay, make sure it's on don't loop, play rate's fine, we don't want to pause it at the ending, and we are going to disable movement input, which basically means that the players won't be able to move their character until the cinematic is done playing. So we have it to autoplay and to disable input. So now if we actually hit play, we can see our animation for our manis playing, our cube animations playing there in the background. And then when the cinematic's done, we can move. So that is how simple and how quick it is to actually get started creating a cinematic level sequence opener. Now obviously that was not a very good one. You'll want to put a little bit more time into actually making yours, probably. I don't know, I'm not going to tell you what to do. But if you were able to follow this video and get these working in your own project, hopefully I have earned your like, comment, or subscription today. Alternatively, we do have a Patreon if that's more your style. Even more alternatively, I actually have just written and released my first book in the urban fantasy genre. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, check out the link in the description below. Anyways, I appreciate you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.